Alex Hormozi, outlast everyone. Quitting almost never feels like quitting. It feels like a reasonable decision to stop wasting your time. That's exactly the problem. That's the thing Alex Hormozi keeps coming back to. The people who beat you usually aren't smarter or luckier. They just stayed in the game while you talked yourself into walking away. Most goals don't die at the hard part. They die at the slow part, where nothing's happening yet and patience starts to feel like wasted effort. Hormozi's whole bet is boring on purpose. Keep doing ordinary work after it stops being interesting and the crowd thins out on its own. You don't have to be the best, you just have to be the one still standing when everyone else is already gone. Dyer, change the way you look at things. You drove past the same thing every day for years and never saw it. Then someone points it out, and now you can't stop seeing it. The thing didn't magically appear, your eyes just started working differently. Dyer left behind a simple truth. The situation was never the problem. It's the angle you're viewing it from. A relationship ends. One person sees the worst thing that ever happened to them. The other sees the opportunity for something better. Same breakup, different lens, different life. Dyer's point is that you never react to events for what they actually are. You react to the meaning you give them, and you rarely stop to ask if it's right. Change the meaning, and new possibilities show up where there were none. As Dyer said many times, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Sinek, start with why. Money's enough to get someone to show up. It's never enough to make them care. Whatever does that doesn't come with a paycheck. Ask Sinek, and he'll tell you a wage, even a really good one, isn't what keeps people on track. A clear why is. It keeps you moving on the days the goal feels far off and the motivation's nowhere. Goals tell you what to do. They never tell you why to bother at 6 a.m. when stopping would be so much easier. So, Sinek says start with why and build the rest on top of it, because reasons outlast rewards. Find the one that's actually yours, and the hard mornings stop making the call for you. Tony Robbins, motion creates emotion. You can change how you feel in about 30 seconds without thinking a single positive thought. Most people never try it because it sounds counterintuitive. Tony Robbins built half his career on this. You've been taught to fix your mood from the inside, think better thoughts, reason your way out of the slump. He flips it. Stand up, change your posture, your breathing, the way you move, and your feelings follow within seconds. Lead with your body and let your emotions catch up. You can't think yourself happy while you're slouched and staring at the floor, but do the opposite, and your mood lifts to meet you. Your body's not waiting on your mind to feel better, it's the other way around. Zig Ziglar, help others get what they want. The fastest way to lose a sale is to make it obvious how badly you need it. Sales legend Zig Ziglar spent decades explaining why that happens. The harder you chase what you want, the more people feel it and push back. People don't buy because they understand your goals. They buy because you understand theirs. Change your focus to what they need, and the wall comes down immediately. Solve enough problems for other people, and your own success naturally follows. Ziglar said it plainly, you can have everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. It reads like a feel-good line until you notice it's a strategy. Give first, and the getting tends to take care of itself. David Goggins, the 40% rule. The moment your body swears it's finished, it's lying to you. Reality is, it's not even halfway through. David Goggins put a number on it. When your mind screams that you're done, you're at about 40% of what you can actually handle. The other 60% is sitting there untouched. Your brain runs a built-in governor, a protective setting that fires the quit signal long before anything's truly at risk. The trick isn't ignoring pain. It's knowing the first wave of exhaustion is never the real limit. Push a little past it, take one more step, do one more rep, and you teach your brain the alarm came early. Do that enough, and the whole limit moves. Most people just accept the brain's first excuse to quit. Tracy, eat the frog. You can knock 9 things off your to-do list and still end the day having done nothing that mattered. The 10th one is the whole reason why. Tracy calls that 10th thing your frog. The ugliest, most important task. The one you keep shoving to tomorrow. His rule is to eat it first. Do the hard, high-value thing before the easy, busy work swallows your morning. Most people run it backwards, clearing 9 small tasks to feel productive, then run out of time for the only one that changes anything. Eat the frog first, and the worst part of your day is already behind you, while everything after it feels light. the dread is gone, and you ride that momentum through the rest of the afternoon. The order you work in decides whether the day counted. Choose the frog, and choose it early. Kwik. Learn how to learn. A kid with a brain injury who couldn't read can now memorize a room full of strangers' names in minutes. His IQ didn't change. One other thing did. That kid was Kwik, and what changed was his method, not his wiring. School hands you piles of things to memorize and spends 0 minutes on how to actually memorize them. So you brute force it, decide you're a slow learner, and move on. Kwik's point is that learning is a skill of its own, and once you master the mechanics, every other skill gets a whole lot easier. Sharper memory, faster reading, real focus. None of it's something you're born with. Fix how you learn, and you stop working twice as hard just to barely keep up. It was never about being smart enough. Nobody ever showed you how. Eric Thomas. Want it like you want to breathe. Tom Brady was the 199th pick. 6 quarterbacks with stronger arms were chosen ahead of him. He has more rings than all of them combined, and it's not just because of his talent. He wanted it more. Eric Thomas said it best. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. Talent is everywhere. Hunger isn't. Gifted people coast and eventually lose to someone with half the ability and twice the appetite. The world is full of people who are naturally brilliant but quit the second things get difficult. Thomas's point is if you treat your goal like a preference, you'll always get beaten by someone who treats it like survival. Most people only sort of want it. They like the idea of the result, but they aren't willing to pay the price to actually get it. They'll take the win, as long as it's comfortable. Brady paid the price. Mel Robbins, the 5-second rule. She was broke, drinking too much, and weeks away from losing her house. Then she saw a rocket launch on TV and stole the countdown idea to change her entire life. Mel Robbins built her whole method out of that rock-bottom moment. There's a tiny window between the urge to act and the second your brain talks you out of it. About 5 seconds. Most people lose the argument. She counts backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and moves before the excuses load. The count hijacks your brain with one simple task, so it can't build the case against you. It sounds way too small to do anything until you actually use it. It works on everything from forcing yourself out of bed to starting a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Robbins used those 5 seconds to go from facing bankruptcy to building a global empire. It doesn't sound like enough time to change your life until you realize it's all the time it takes to stop ruining it. Gary Vaynerchuk. Bet on your strengths. You've been told your whole life to work on your weaknesses. It's some of the worst advice you'll ever get. Gary Vaynerchuk says to do the exact opposite. Grind 3 years on something you're bad at, and you might claw your way up to average. Spend those same 3 years on something you're already built for, and you'll be elite. It's the same amount of time, but the payoff isn't even close. The report card model trains you to dump energy into your worst grade, but adults don't get paid for being well-rounded. They get paid for being exceptional at one thing. The real cost of fixing your flaws is the best version of you that never got built because you spent your hours dragging a C+ up to a B-. Find what you're great at. Put your hours there. Vujicic. Gratitude beats circumstance. A man born with no arms and no legs will tell you he's got it better than most people watching this. He's not lying. He means it. Vujicic isn't performing for sympathy. He decided early that his circumstances don't get a vote on whether he stays down. The way he frames it, he can be angry about the limbs he doesn't have or thankful for the purpose he does. In his words, I chose gratitude. It hits harder from him because so many people have all 4 limbs and still feel stuck. Gratitude isn't pretending the hard parts away, it's refusing to let them run the whole show. Your situation doesn't get to pick your next move. You do. That's the lesson he figured out that plenty of people with everything never will. Les Brown. Live full, die empty. Les Brown said the most valuable real estate on earth is a graveyard, not because of the land, but because of everything buried in it that never got built, written, or even attempted. Buried there are the businesses nobody started, the books nobody wrote, the songs nobody sang, all taken to the grave by people who ran out of tomorrows before they ran out of excuses. The frightening part isn't dying, it's reaching the end with your best work still trapped inside. Brown's answer was simple: live full, die empty. Don't end up the richest plot in the cemetery. Use what you've got while you're here before you run out of time.